We are joined by Nigel Goodwin, who plays Vamir in Neyyah. Nigel, it's great to see you as always. Welcome to the podcast.
So, what can you tell us about your acting background outside of Neyyah?
Oh, goodness me, it's been a long and convoluted journey. I never thought I'd end up acting in a video game, which is absolutely fantastic. But I actually started in theatre way back in the UK, probably about 14, 15 years ago now. And I responded to an advertisement that was put through my letterbox advertising adult learning classes. And one of these classes was for acting. And I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. I've always fancied that. So I started these acting classes. And then our tutor, who was a writer as well as a tutor, she actually said, oh, I've written a play and I want you guys to be in it. So I thought, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give that a go. So I didn't even have to audition for my first role. I just kind of fell into it, or I was given it on a plate, basically. So we did this play and we had an absolutely fantastic time doing it. And then some of us formed a spin-off group and did another play. And then there was another one and another one. And then I started hanging out with some filmmakers as well and got into film acting. So by the time I arrived in Australia, which was about 7.5 years ago now, I was already full on into theatre and film acting, doing like short films and lots of community theatre. And then, so going through various networking events and things, I stumbled across this opportunity to be a part of Neyyah. So it's been a wonderful journey that's got me to this point.
That's great. I love that.
Speaking of Neyyah, Nigel, can you please tell us about your personal experience working on Neyyah as your character Vamir?
So you invited me to come along and read for Vamir, which was fantastic because his character being a scientist, being the head scientist on Neyyah, that actually reflected my background perfectly. Because before I got into acting and filmmaking and such like, I was actually a science student and did some science research work. So it was right up my street. It was the perfect. It was very easy to embody that character because I'd already come from that kind of background. And then when we turned up and started shooting, so just seeing those kind of script elements that were there for me, I'm just thinking, wow, this is like me in a former life. This is another version of me.
Parallel
It
universe.
was very, very easy yeah, exactly. Very, very easy to get to kind of slip into that character. And I had a great time playing Vermeer.
So we know you're not much of a gamer, so we won't ask about your favorite video game.
Which is obviously Neyyah.
So instead of asking what
Of
your
course,
favorite,
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I mean, back in the day, I mean, I'm giving my age away now, but I'm old enough to have played those very early arcade games, like Space Invaders and Pac-Man and all the old stuff. So I do have a soft spot for the very old school, those very old school kind of dodgy graphics and Pong with a little ball bouncing across the screen and all that stuff. So I'm kind of old school in that regard. But having looked at the demo version of Neyyah and being given the opportunity to actually play it myself, I'm just thinking, wow, everything has come on in leaps and bounds since then. Looking at the technology now is just it's almost incomparable with those very old school, very early games.
what is your favorite role out of everything you've ever performed in?
Aside from Vamir, obviously, which is clearly your favorite.
Obviously for me, but oh, it's so hard to pick one because there's been so many and they've been so diverse as well.
Mm.
I've played comedy roles, I've played bad guy roles, I've played so many different things. One of the most recent ones that I absolutely loved was I was given the opportunity last year to play Captain Von Trapp in the stage version of The Sound of Music. And that was really not just fun, but also it kind of shook me out of my comfort zone because I had to sing and I haven't sung on stage for like a long, long, long time. So that was a really, really exciting and really fun role. And I got to dust off my old acoustic guitar and I had to work out the chords to Edelweiss and had a wonderful time doing that. But probably one of my other favorite ones that I did quite a few, 5 or 6 years ago now was the full Monty, where we did go the full Monty on stage with some very subtle and very clever. That's another favorite as well. So yeah, every role that you've just done is always your favorite because you get so into it and so absorbed, and you just become that character and become part of that kind of stage or screen family. So very hard to pick a favorite, but probably yeah, two very, very different and very diverse roles. Captain Von Trapp from The Sound of Music and Gaz from The Full Monty. I directed a short film last year, a 15-minute comedy horror called Hardwood, which one of my friends wrote, and he said, "Who wants to direct this?" And I read the script, and I immediately put my hand up and said, "Yes, I absolutely want to direct this." So I've directed a few little bits and pieces before, but this is the first proper, full-on, film that I wanted to enter into a festival, and we were very, very excited to actually be chosen to have our film in the Perth Horror Film Festival. And it screened last night to a very receptive audience. We got lots of laughs and lots of positive feedback afterwards. So yeah, that was another string to my bow. Sometimes I'm a director as well as an actor.
Oh, that's fantastic. And scientist. Don't forget scientist.
Scientist, yeah. Feels like a lifetime ago now, but this is my chance to kind of rekindle that part of my life, being the head scientist on Neyyah.